Welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramp decides the result. I keep saying ramp, it's now ramps. So when we say the ramp decides the results, ramps are gravity fed, in case you're wondering, which means we start at the top and let gravity do its thing and then carry that mass down. And as it fights against the friction, which is why some cars are faster than others. Okay, so what do we have on tap today? We got the next round of cars for the 164 scale quarter mile drag strip. And I keep looking over there because it's over there. If you've seen the other videos, you know, because I always pointed over there. So anyway, so what do we have on tap? I'm just going to kind of go down I'm going to go down the order of what we've done in the lab so far. So first up on the ramp is going to be, this is the Hot Wheels Toyota AE86 Trueno from the Real Riders collection. Okay, this is going to be, we'll do them in the order, you know, on the ramp. So, which means it's going to be rubber tires. I think all of these are going to be Real Riders, maybe. Anyway, we'll see. The next one, the Hot Wheels. This is the heaviest car in the lab, I think. No, this isn't the heaviest. We did the heaviest car in the lab already. This is the Hot Wheels Toyota 77 Celica, a metallic charcoal, which I talked about being the color of the first car I ever owned. Okay, another Real Riders vehicle. Then we have one of my favorites, just the way it looks, is the Hot Wheels 1967 Ferrari 330 P4. Look at that bad boy. I think my favorite my favorite car so far is that yellow Alfa Romeo, but this is pretty close. That's pretty sweet. Okay, and then we have, to wrap it up, the Hot Wheels El Segundo Coupe. Boom. This is from the Hot Wheels fan-driven line. So this one's going to have plastic tires on it, not the rubber tires like the other three cars, the other Real Riders. And that's it. So in this case, if you saw the video recently, we've got like 17 brands in the lab. 8 of them we've tested. We got 9 new ones. I may have a couple more on the way. As they come in, I will let you know. But it's really been interesting getting to learn about these other brands that are from other countries, quality level, detail level, and all of that. All right, so where are we at with this track? We're still in the single lane situation because I'm in the process of ordering more track. Because as I said, if you haven't seen the other videos, this I posted in the first video where we unveiled the 164 scale quarter mile drag strip, the geometry. So it's essentially a 22-degree down angle for about 5 feet, and then it rounds out for about 18 inches into a flat that's just under 21 feet. It's like 20.65, something like that, feet. And so that's track number 2. So these cars, we're looking at individual performance. They get a rating based on how they perform on each of what will be a final total of 3 tracks. And then we'll keep the top 10 in both the plastic wheels, the rubber wheels. Okay. So I don't know why I keep saying okay. I need a shirt that says okay. Okay. So these cars going into the quarter mile drag strip, the 164 scale, we're doing this for speed. Okay. The short form drag strip was for time. The scale drag strip will be for speed, as in miles per hour / kilometers per hour. And I also talk about and this is the average of 3 runs. I always talk about their scale speed as well. And then the last track, which I haven't built yet, we got a lot of other cars and to get through these first 2 tracks. So that track is going to be a little ways off, but that will test the distance and then how well cars maintain or bleed off their energy. Okay, because it's going to be down ramp into an up ramp. There's going to be like an S curve, and we're going to have, you know, a left turn and a right turn, and then we're going to measure to see their distance. And then again, we're rating these cars based on plastic wheels versus rubber wheels, because that has been the biggest difference between the two. I started out doing like 15 measurements. They just, like, most of the measurements didn't really matter. It wasn't really giving us anything major. The weight was kind of like a distant second, but that's it. All right, so what do you say we get this this party started over at the 164 scale quarter-mile drag strip over there. All right, meet me over there. Grab your tasty beverage, maybe a tasty snack, and yeah, we'll enjoy some single lane drag strip fun for you all, my fellow diecaster blasters. Okay, let's get it. Okay, so before we start this, I forgot to mention the 66 subscriber. Once we hit 66 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away the Batmobile Silver Series new in box set. I've shown that in a few other videos, so you know, if you watch these videos, you'll know about it. We hit 60 subscribers today, so we need 6 more. I'm going to do these videos whether you guys are subscribed or not, so hopefully you'll subscribe, you'll like the videos and all of that. Because you know it's fun. We're doing this for fun. It's like 164 scale happiness, as I always talk about. So that's really what this channel is all about. We're gonna have a fun time. You know, enjoy some physics on a level that will be fun and all that. So before we start, I do have the first vehicle seated, but we're gonna do a quick look at the track. So I'm gonna turn this thing around so you can see what it looks like again. I'm gonna kind of run it all the way down so you can sort of see what I keep saying sort of. Sort of. All right, so you can see what these cars are going to be driving on. Okay, so let's turn this around. Okay, whoa, there we go. The Sprinter Trueno using the Play Robotics 2-lane system. There we go. I have these taped here because I got cables coming down. I don't want to pull them off the shelves up here. So this is the track. This is what it looks like heading down. It goes all the way down there. So we're going to do a little bit of I got to step off the ladder. Boom, it comes into this. We're on the straightaway. Now, obviously, I cannot run as fast as these cars in the house, but goes through here, hits that for the miles per hour, finishes off over here, drops onto this little comforter so I can pick it up. We enter the information here on the laptop. Actually, after writing it down here on this tab, on the tablet, so I can keep track. And then there you go. I want to figure out here as we look back. That's what it looks like way over there. Okay, so I'll figure out how to do this overlay. I still need to do that, but anyway, let's get to it. It's time to get some racing in, or some drag strip action in. Okay, here we go. Run number 1 of the Sprinter Trueno. But I had to find the device, the remote. Here we go. Yeah, a little slow, right? 2.81. Just an interesting tidbit. He didn't even make it to the end. This is the first car that hasn't made it to the end of the track. Run number 2 for the Sprinter Trueno. Wow, 1.04. That thing is having a rough morning, that's for sure. All right, we've got one more run to go. Run number 3. Woo, barely made it. Wow, 1.23 miles an hour. All right, we're going to get this entered into the database and we'll move on to the next vehicle. Okay, we have the 77 Celica here for its first run. The Trueno had a pretty dismal performance, but that's okay. You know, not all cars are going to have the same level of awesomeness, but we still enjoy them. So let's see how the Celica does. Okay. Yeah, these real riders are not as quick. They look great materials and stuff, but they're definitely not as fast. 2.83 miles an hour. Run number 2. 2.98. A little better. Round or heat 3, lap 3 for the Celica. 2.56 miles per hour. All right, run 1 of the Ferrari. We are going to See how this bad boy does right now. As soon as I as soon as I get the button. Whoop. Oh my goodness. It didn't even make it to the end. Well, that's a 0. Well, that first round was disappointing. Didn't even make it to the end gate. So no gets no points for that. Now if none of the cars were making it, that would be one thing. But this is the first car that didn't actually make it all the way. So, it is what it is. Not all cars are going to likely be able to handle it. I mean, look at it. I mean, it's moving pretty good, and then it just sort of just can't keep its momentum. All right, run 3. Just remember, just because the car is pretty doesn't mean it's gonna run as well as we would like. I mean, it looks good coming out of the block. It just can't. It just can't. It can't keep up its momentum. All right, well, no worries. This is going to get a 0 for this is the first car so far on this track that has not been able to finish. All right, I'm sure there'll be more down the road, but it looks great. We'll still give it a little bit of a shout out. Number 3 for the Ferrari. All right, last car for today's vid, the El Segundo Coupe. Now this one has plastic tires, not the rubber ones like the last 3, which were real riders. So I'm suspecting this is going to be pretty blazing fast, given, in comparison. Yeah, there we go. 5.69. Yeah, that's fast. Lap 2 for this El Segundo Coupe. Woo! That is flying. 5.64. Very consistent. Lap 3. Gonna try to see if we can get a good close shot here as it's whizzing by. Woo! 5.66. This might be the most consistent of all the cars so far in the 164 scale quarter-mile drag strip. All right, we're going to plug the info in to the database, and we'll be back in a bit. Welcome back. Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramps decide the results. Today, just finished up with the 164 scale quarter-mile drag strip. Some interesting results, one very disappointing result, which we'll go over. But first, hopefully you're subscribed, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm going to be giving away the Batmobile Hot Wheels Silver Series set, box set, new in box. Okay, comes with these vehicles. I mentioned before, I did a video with the 1966 model. I had 4 different castings, which included the Silver Series from the other box. I had 2 of these, so one of these is a giveaway. The other one was used in that testing. I did the Faster Than Ever, and then a couple other, releases for that model. So that's in another video you can check out if you're interested. But as soon as we hit 66 subscribers in honor of the 1966 model, then I'm going to be giving that away. We are at 60 as of this morning when I looked. So thank you very much. And I appreciate those of you who are watching. I appreciate those of you who are subscribing, liking, all that stuff, because it's really about just we're having fun, being happy, trying to see how these cars perform individually. Sometimes you can say against each other if you want, if there's a good competition, but because we're still rating them based on plastic tires versus rubber tires. Those are the 2 categories. All right, so how did we end up today? The Toyota, Hot Wheels Toyota AE86 Trueno from Real Riders. It's the Real Riders line. Average, so we already went over the laps, so I'll give you the averages, right? It's like 1.69 with a bunch of 3s, with a scale, that's miles per hour, with a scale speed of 108.37 and a bunch of 3s. Okay. We'll see how it compares once I enter this in and we run the numbers. The information that I have I'm putting over here, see, with a pen, because it looks official. So over there, will be in the details, the stats, the results, the rankings, and all of that. It will be in the details of the YouTube post. The next thing is the 77 Celica, the metallic charcoal. I'm calling it that color. So that had the average of 2.79 miles per hour with 178.56 miles per hour scale speed. One of my favorite cars, the way it looks. This Ferrari even has the just like an amazing look at this open spare wheel in the back. I'm gonna give it a little extra love here because it did not finish. It could not, it just did not have, it looked good coming out of the gate, but it just could not keep up. So it gets a DNF and a 0. I still might run it on the distance track, although my sense is it's probably not going to even be able to make it up the up ramp after the down ramp, but we'll still give it a shot. But it definitely is, because of that performance, I'm sure will not be in the top 10 in the rubber tire class. Anyway, all right. So now the only plastic tire car for today is the Hot Wheels El Segundo Coupe. That's this one, and it was pretty fast. I don't think it's the fastest yet, but it was up there with an average of 5.66 with a bunch of threes miles per hour and a scale speed of 362.45 and a few threes afterwards. So, it put up a respectable performance. So the other thing I want to mention is we did have one Easter egg that was found. I've got another one out there. There'll be more to come, more giveaways to come as the channel continues to build. I'm fine with it building slower rather than faster because I want to be able to continue to do this quality stuff and not think about, I'm not thinking about the numbers, right? I'm thinking about what is going to be fun, what's going to be interesting, what can I do that's a little bit different from some of the other providers out there. Everybody's doing really cool content. I haven't seen anybody who I'm going like, oh my gosh, what are they thinking? Everybody's got really interesting takes on what they're doing. Mine is more from the sort of the physics, science, technology side, but in a fun way. And I'm also exploring all the brands possible rather than sticking to like, one or two or three different brands. All right. So that said, we're going to wrap it up. We're not doing the moment of glory after these because we've done that, but I'm still going to have the still shot at the end of the cars that ran today, that were tested today. And I think that's gonna be it. And so hopefully we'll see you next time. I appreciate you joining me. Again, I'm Strick with Peak Speed Lab 164, place where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramps decide the results. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.